So, hello everybody, welcome. Also everybody who's watching this recording. We're going to switch to gallery mode in a second or maybe in 3 minutes or so that you can see who else is here and who's practicing, because this session is going to be about observing and teaching what you observe, what you see. So it's quite necessary that you take a look at what people are doing, or try to to make sure that you understand what Letizzia and I are going to say and why we're saying it. So the view will change in a second. So this is our July session for Kula-Bhrājana. We're a little late, but not hopefully, but thank God, Letizzia is better now. Her voice is a little better, but I will do most of the talking probably. But I will ask her for help, and maybe Letizzia and I will also have a little discussion about what we're teaching while we're doing it, because this is the fun of it. So, to introduce what we're doing, our topic, in the description it said something about eagle eye and laser focus when teaching. And what we mean by this is that when we say eagle eye, an eagle is flying up above, high above the ground, and is having everything in their field of vision. So we're talking about watching what the group is doing, watching closely, or feeling the group energy, feel if there are, what's the word for homogene,
homogenic,
homogenic?
homogeneous.
You know, if they, also ob die homogen ist, ob die Gruppe gut zusammenpasst, if they all have the same level, or if somebody is sticking out a little bit. Ja, ob jemand vielleicht so ein bisschen raussticht, who needs special attention. And the more we go into the class, we're not just looking like from the big picture, but we're looking closer, like the eagle who then focuses, well, on the one mouse. And or maybe on the specific student, or on a specific part of the body, or a specific energy that we want to see in our students. It doesn't have to be one person, it could also be something that we are focusing on. And then probably we're going back again and looking how everybody is doing, so we're switching back and forth, like the way attention and awareness goes. The plan for this session is that in the beginning we're going to tell you what we are looking for when we are teaching our asana part of this class. It'll be, well, the plan is to do it for 20 to 30 minutes, probably it'll be longer because you know us. But we'll look for specific things in specific parts of the class. So when you start a class, when everybody is sitting and you do your centering, you start teaching how to sit well, and so you're looking at, do you have somebody, how are people's hips? How are they really doing what you want from them when you say turn your thighs in, or in the sit bones? And especially when you have a topic that needs this inner spiral, for example, you wanna look closely if they are really doing it. And if they're not doing it, then you probably need to pay special attention to this person, or even address them and make them, or invite them to do it somehow. So we'll see. So we're a group of quite experienced teachers and practitioners, so maybe we'll find nothing. Who knows? And then also in the centering, we will look for, does the person sit bright and open, and as first principle, this inner body bright, the side body long, shoulders wide. Is this visual, or are they slouching? Are they, even if I tell them to deepen the breath and to lengthen, to root down, to rise up, to widen through the shoulders? Is it really showing? Because this is something we need in our class as well. And then during the warm-up, I think we're stepping back a little bit again, and we're just looking for foundation, right, Letizzia? Looking for the placement of the hands. Does everybody know what I mean when I say spread fingers, turn them in, out like this? Or somebody who has absolutely inactive hands or unaware hands and stuff like that. You know, it's mostly in the warm-up, it's mostly foundation and then breath. Can they deepen the breath? Oh, Martina, I'm going to mute you. Don't worry. Do they deepen the breath? Are they aware of the breath and of the coordination of breath and movement? Can they turn inward enough to coordinate breath and movement? Right?
And also, I would say that during the warm-up, you start to notice things that people need to work more. Besides the foundation, you start to look at the big picture, right? What you were saying, and you start to see whether people tend to drop their knees in or hyperextend their knees, or if they hyperextend their elbows. So then you will know later during the class what things you have to pay attention on those specific individuals. Sorry, I put the hand on the microphone.
Oh, gosh. And your voice is already breaking, isn't it? Or is it okay?
At this time of the day, my nose gets full and my voice breaks down. So we will see what I can do. Sorry.
So Letizzia and I had a conversation about this before. So if you want, you can just throw in little just words, and probably I will know what you're going to say. So so then I can make a longer speech about this. What I often do is when I put people into the first downward facing dog, it's a good chance because they are so busy with themselves, and you can just look around, have them breathe, and just observe their bodies, you know, where they're stiff, where they're hyper flexible, where they're not aware. So this is something you can look at.
Where they are too tense, where they are doing too much.
Yeah.
Where they're not doing enough.
Yeah. Right.
Where they're listening to what we're saying or not.
Yeah. And so in a warm-up, when we do just easy movements, easy poses, like 2 poses and switching between them like cat-cow or so, that's not so much to think about. Or, I don't know, a downward-facing dog plank, to and fro. So not too complicated. And then when it comes to, like, say, Surya Namaskar or so, there's more to be done, especially for beginners. So you can watch, or you can watch out for, are they keeping what you taught them before? Are they still doing a good placement of the hands, for example? Even do they remember, like, the index finger knuckles when they go down into chaturanga or to the floor or in cobra, you know? Because most people are concerned with different things when it comes to coordinating more than one movement or one action or so. So how experienced are they? Are they, do they maintain what is important and what you need for your peak pose? By the way, what we kept in mind for today as a peak pose is not the special or not the typical, like super complicated pose. We were thinking, well, let's just go into an easy back bend like a cobra. Let's let the cobra be our peak pose. And so in our heads, we were thinking, well, what do we actually need for a good back bend on the belly, you know? And yeah, we're not telling you now, but maybe you will find out what we're looking at and what we keep teaching you. So yeah, so Surya Namaskar, are they keeping the easy stuff? And then for standing poses, you're going more into like the bigger movements, or the more complicated, like the
refinements.
the refinements, right. So, and the spirals, for example, and yeah, so it gets a little more complicated then, or refined, let's say. And for cool down, I would say, I don't know, what do you look for in a cool down? Do you actually look for stuff?
I look for their breath.
Yeah.
And I try to, I mean, I look for them to find their breath again, and to really just find their place again in their body, and to feel. For me, the cool down is a little bit more like the going back inside, kind of like preparing for Shavasana. So it's like going back inside to recognize the shift after the practice. And of course also preparing them to feel more. So then when you sit down back to meditation, even for 1-2 minutes of meditation, they can notice the changes and the benefits of the practice.
Yeah. So I mentioned what I was teaching during the class. I mention it, but I try not to get into it too detailed, but I make them recognize that it all comes back to the same topics. You know, that in every pose, even like in a sitting posture, or even in Shavasana, I try to pick up what I was teaching before in a very, very simple way, not too overcomplicate it. Well, I try to do my best.
Yeah, because for instance, even in a Shavasana, right, if our
Nice.
class theme was opening or whatever that comes with back bends, during Shavasana, you can tell them to keep lifting the chest up. So they keep a little bit of, opening, instead of just collapsing and closing and going into,
Yeah.
their normal position of the body. So keep the hands up. So then, you create a little bit of a, help me out with which rotation is this one, I never get, but contracting the shoulders in the back, the shoulder blades, and then allowing the chest to stay open. So keeping the benefit from what our class was.
Yeah, the spirals in the arms just to set up for Shavasana, the spirals in the legs to set up for Shavasana, everything, and then hopefully at some point just let it go. Okay, so when we do the asana in a few minutes, we're doing what we call, or what I was writing this text, what I called a commented, also eine kommentierte Klasse. So it's not like you're just students and we're just teaching you, but we're doing something, Letizzia and I are doing something like commenting on what we're doing, so that you will get this as well. And it's one just for you to know, it's one of the teaching techniques when you teach as a trainer, when you teach teachers and advanced teacher trainings.
And it's something for each one of us as teachers to keep in mind, what is our kind of like mental talk, right? Yeah. While we're teaching, instead of getting into autopilot. So we will do the mental talk out loud. So then you can notice why we are doing or saying what we're
doing.
Or
what we're meaning, what we're trying to say. Okay. So second side, yeah, and afterwards, so we'll see where we'll go. We don't have like the big back bend in our head, but maybe if you are a great group of students and you do everything we ask you to do, then we will try to go deeper. There's no need to just stay basic then. Maybe just notice this.
Because that's also part of the training, right? We teach to what we observe. So if we prepare, so to say, a level 1 class, and then we come to teach, and all our students are level 2, we don't stick to the level 1. We also bring them a little bit into what their possibilities are. So that's also part of the observing to teach to what we observe.
Well said. Jandra will like it. I think I don't see his face right now. He's on the second page. Did he? Oh, he didn't. He didn't react. Did he react? Okay, so afterwards, we're just coming back and then maybe discuss again what we were doing. So I haven't planned a class or something. I'm just, or we haven't planned a class. We're just starting, and afterwards you can ask questions. So why did you do that? Or we're gonna ask, did you notice that I did this? What do you think why we did this? So we get a little interactive afterwards. So it's 8:20 now. So it would be nice if you could prepare to get onto your mats, please. And I will do some changes here in my settings. Hopefully it'll work out on the recording. And Julia, you came in late. So if you don't want to, you will be on the video. And if you're practicing, so if you don't want this, you have to turn off your video. So let me just check if I can see everybody. Oops. Oops. Please don't turn on and off. I'm getting like, oop. Great, okay. So if I can see quite well. Karin, are you practicing along? Not? Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So you're going to observe as well. So if you don't mind, I will ask you and Sylvia probably if you see something. Who knows? You don't have to answer though. Okay, so everybody, welcome to class. Please come into a good sitting posture. Sit well. That's what I usually say when I start teaching. So sitting well means sit up on something, your block. And yeah, and thank you, Courtney. So please really sit up on something so that your hip joints are a little higher than your knee joints. And Andrea is frozen, I think. So I'm looking for the possibility of people's pelvises to really oh gosh, what's the word?
Tilt forward.
Tilt forward, so that the spine can go inward and then up. And then place your hands on your thighs, and you can turn your palms down. That's a little more calming in the beginning, but widen your shoulders. And then close your eyes. And for the very beginning of this class, just turn inward and take a moment to pay attention to your natural breath. And once you've established a good connection and took a look at how you're breathing at the moment, then start to deepen your breath, elongate your inhale and your exhale, and if possible, make them even out your breath. And if possible, even bring just a very, very little noise, a breath noise, a sound, that's the word, sorry, in English, a sound to your breath. Just some small engagement in your throat so that you can hear your breath. And obviously we can't hear you now, but I would listen to my class if somebody is engaging very much into that sound, or if somebody's pressing or so. So, and if everything is smooth and they've done this thousands of times before, I wouldn't say much more. But if it's not smooth, I would say something like, well, you can count till 4 as you inhale and till 4 as you exhale. Right, so first observation. So now when you inhale, try to, with gravity, let your pelvis settle into your seat a little bit, and at the same time feel your chest expand into all sides, the back body, and of course the front as well. And as you exhale, start a little muscular engagement of elongation through your axis. Push down, root down through your sit bones and rise up through your crown. So there's a little shift between the inhale, where everything happens with gravity and with just the breath, and exhaling, some little engagement, rooting down, rising up. And then with the next inhalation, bring your hands together in Anjali Mudra in front of the heart. Oh, good. And let's do 3 ohms, or let's do 1 ohm, just to set a little intention for this class. Wait a second. I can't do this now. Just gonna do it like this. So exhale completely, but try to stay open and bright, shoulders wide, and then inhale deeply for 1 ohm. And with the next inhalation, exhalation, lower your hands, open your eyes again, and then come onto your mats, stretch out your, let go of your seat and come onto all fours on your mats. So take your blocks and place them in front of your mats on the highest level, in front of your mats, a little before your mats, if you've got space. If not, don't worry. And put them wide so that they are not in your way for Cobra, what we're doing. So if you see somebody putting their blocks very, very narrow, so, well, if you want them there, if you want the blocks there, really look at them, tell them, no, further forward, a little apart. And then spread your fingers, open your hands a little wider than your shoulders. Yes. And then return back to your breath. Bigger inhale and full exhale.
Yeah, we are in all fours, so going to all
We are
fours.
on fours, I said, yeah.
And spread the fingers.
I can't see every hand. Okay, keep your head lifted so that the head doesn't drop down. And then inhale so deeply that the whole chest expands as well. Not just the front of the chest, also breathe into your back body. Yeah, okay. And also, like you did sitting, push your hands down so that the back body is lifted with muscles, pushing down until the kidney area lifts up a little bit. Great. And then let's add some movements. Inhale deeply. And with the exhalation, lower down or push yourself up into cat pose, please. Lower your head and push the kidney area up. Inhaling, lift the sit bones, lift your heart up into cow pose. And exhaling, push down, and expand the back into cat pose. So do this 4 more times with your breath.
You can begin to refine as well the cat and cow by noticing which part of your back lifts up more with the cat and which part of your front body moves more forward with the cow. And try to make it more even.
2 more times. So do you see any hyperextended elbows? Letizzia, I do as well. Do you see some elbows pointing all the way out to the side?
Yes.
I do as well. So we want, in the end, we want elbows or elbow, what's the other
Inner part of the elbow.
The inner part of the elbow, the Ellenbeuge, to face diagonally forward in this position. And I see some elbows sticking out to the side. Okay, so maybe we're going to address this right now, right? Because it's needed. Okay, so come to the middle, if possible.
So now you're seeing already that we are changing our plan. We were not planning on doing any alignments already on cats and cows, but we're already observing elbow issues, so we are addressing them now.
Okay, so open your knees and bring your big toes together and push back into child's pose. But lift your chest up, straighten your arms, and bring your arms in a little bit. Bring your hands in a little further towards you. Lift your head up, come up a little bit. Hands flat, please. Hands flat, but just don't stretch them out so far. Just bring them in maybe half a hand length closer to your knees so that you can lift up a little higher. And look at your hands. Julia, lift your head up and lift your chest up, come up a little higher. Pull down, yes, like this, good, okay. So, push the inner edges of your hands down. You all know your index finger knuckles, spread your fingers, and then turn your arms out so that the inner edges of your elbows face a little more forward or upward and not towards one another. So imagine maybe a little eye there, and these eyes are looking up. Okay, keep this, come forward, back into all fours. Okay, bend your elbows a little bit. Bend your elbows a little bit. So they shouldn't move out to the side, they should move a little backwards. Not all the way back, but a little backwards. Okay, engage your arms from your fingertips, make your lower arms strong, make your biceps strong. Yeah, and then even move your elbows a little towards one another, as if you wanted to push your lower arms towards the midline. Okay, keep this. Looks okay, doesn't it, Letizzia? Okay, and then bring one foot back on the ground. Push.
Yeah, so the eyes of the elbows are not pointing forward. They're kind of like in a diagonal. Yeah, there you go.
Are you looking at Courtney?
At Neves.
No, okay. Gosh, this is fun. Okay, so one foot back, please. Place your your toes on the ground. One leg back. Oh, Andrea is frozen again. So we're not waiting for Andrea because she's frozen. Okay, push this foot down and then bring the second leg next to it. Okay, inhaling, lift your thighs up, lift your hips up a little bit, and exhaling, push down into downward facing dog. Okay, inhaling, come forward, bring your shoulders above your wrists, and exhaling, move back into downward facing dog. Let's do this 2 more times. Feet are 1 foot apart, 1 foot eine Fußweite, so 1 foot between your 2 feet. Yeah, even closer. No, not the length, just the width. Martina, ein bisschen schmaler. Ja. Ja, eine Fußbreite. Okay, so stay in downward facing dog. Inhale. And exhaling, push your hands down and forward so that you feel your hips moving away from your hands and your side body lengthen. Inhale deeply, lift your heels up. Keep pushing away from your hands, lift your heels, come up. And exhaling, walk forward into Uttanasana. Yeah, you can come into your fingertips, sure. And walk all the way to the front of the mat. Yeah, you can bend your knees, that's fine. Okay, feet parallel and 1 foot between your feet. So that's hip width distance.
Distant apart.
Yeah, it's how your sit bones are, the width of your sit bones or your hip joints. Okay, bring your hands onto your blocks, please. Straighten your arms and come into Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. And come all the way onto your fingertips so that you come really, really high. Okay. Engage your feet, spread your toes, and widen your heels out to the side so much so that the middle of your heel is behind the second toe mound. So Martina, left foot a little further outward. If you're pregnant or something, you can go into a wide stance, it's of course, but if you're not, and if you don't have any issues, just bring your feet under your hip joints. Courtney, are you doing this on purpose? Just wondering. Okay, bend your knees a little bit and engage the muscles of your legs. Make your legs strong. Lift your sit bones a little up so that there's a little natural curve in your lower back. Inhale deeply. And exhaling, lower down all the way into Uttanasana. Okay. Keep your hands on your blocks. That's fine. Inhaling, halfway lift. Come up. And exhaling, lower down. Uttanasana. So yeah, so it helps if you keep on doing this 2 more times or 3 more times. It helps if your blocks and your hands are not next to your feet, but really some distance before your feet, so that you've got the chance to lengthen when you come into Ardha Uttanasana, right? To lengthen from hips to shoulders. 1 more time. Okay, and then stay down into Uttanasana. Bring your hands to your hips. Widen your shoulders out to the side. Lift your head up a little bit. And then push down through your feet and come up. Come up all the way to standing. Exhaling, lower your hands. And then for the very first time, turn your hands forward or even a little up, not forward, and rotate your arms up. And with the next inhalation, bring your arms forward and up all the way above your head. And exhaling, hands to your heart. Okay, inhale here so that the inner body gets brighter. Widen your shoulders. And exhaling, just lower your hands next to your hips, but maintaining that fullness in your chest. Inhaling, lift your arms up again. You can do it while moving your arms forward and up. And exhaling, bring your hands to your chest again. To your heart, sorry. So let's do this 2 more times. Inhaling all the way up. So sometimes I see some over-engagement, bringing the arms out to the side or even pushing them back to expand the chest, and not really fully expanding the whole chest, just from breath and from inner expansion, just using the arms to expand. Okay, with your next exhalation, lower down into Uttanasana. Let's move a little more. Inhaling into Ardha Uttanasana. Straighten your arms and try to open the front of your shoulders as well. And then place your hands on your mat and walk all the way back into downward facing dog. So yes, Courtney, that's the spirit. Okay, I'm looking at hands. What I can see, it looks good. Inhaling, come forward, all the way above your wrists. Lower your knees down. And then push yourself back, your hips back to your heels. Just back. Okay, straighten your arms and make your arms strong. So when you come forward, rotate your arms outward a little bit so that the crease of or the eyes of your elbows point diagonally forward. Come forward again. And exhaling, move your hips back again. And try to maintain this. Try to maintain this expanding of the arms, of the front of the shoulders. One more time, come forward. And exhaling, push back. And then from behind, inhaling, push forward and further forward, exhalation all the way onto the ground. So I'm looking at where elbows are facing now while they lowering down. Okay, all the way to the ground. Did they actually move forward or did they just lower down? You know, that's also very common that people try to just go down to the ground. Okay, extend your heels, your feet, and then straighten your knees. Engage your legs. And bring your legs, roll the fronts of your thighs a little inward and bring your legs just 1 foot or hip width distance apart. So, Neve, can you bring in your legs a little closer? Further. Yeah, you lifted your thighs, rolled them in. Great. So I can't see everybody's toes, but it looks like the heels are pointing straight upward and not towards one another. So let's see, Letizzia, how they are doing for the first 4 or 5 little cobras. You know? Okay, so use your hands to pull yourself forward. Inhale, widen the shoulders and come up into the first of 4 little cobras. And exhaling, lower back down. Okay, inhale, pull yourself forward and up. And exhaling, lower down. What are you seeing, Letizzia? Something specific?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but something that typically happens is that when we go up right into the cobra, the heels drop towards the side against exactly like Neve is showing. They go away from each other, right? So if that's the case, if we observe that, then I will tell my students to place a block in between their heels and also a block in between their thighs. So why don't we do that just to feel the effects of the blocks? So please put a block in between your thighs and another block in between your heels, the inner part of the heels, obviously.
So I see Neve again putting the long side of the block between the end. So no.
No, put it according to your hips. So how wide your hips are, probably we don't need the block on the, on the second side. Make it in the narrow part.
I would use the very narrow part between the upper thighs and the second biggest side between the legs. So spread your toes and push your not your heels, your ankles towards one another. So we're looking for shins in. Shins in is quite a different lesson to learn in Cobra. I would have probably taught it earlier before. I think it's very hard to teach in Cobra. But yeah, we just want the shins to move against the block and just engage your inner thighs and then also lengthen your sit bones a little towards your heels. You could say lengthen your tailbone, but I rather teach from the sit bones. So it's sit bones a little bit towards the heels. And now use your hands and pull yourself forward so that you feel some length between your hips and your armpits. Widen your shoulders and come up into the cobra pose again. Yeah, exhaling, lower down. And then push your knees down and your hands down and come up onto your knees. Okay, stay with the hands where they are and lift your knees up and come all the way into downward facing dog. You can keep the blocks where they are. So I didn't see a lot of lack of inner spiral, to be honest, so far. So probably it's, yeah, maybe just a short lesson about inner spiral and the combination of inner spiral and still not doing too much outer spiral for cobra. So I would say in downward facing dog, engage your legs, bend your knees a little bit, and then try to roll the block between your thighs a little further back and up. Okay, I can't see anybody doing this really because either they're not in the picture or they don't have a block. Julia Bifford, can you take the block between your thighs, please? Because you're a really good model. I can see you very well. Upper thigh. Okay, so keep the block there. Come forward into plank pose. And make sure that the block is a little bit sticking out a little bit to the front. So the block between your thighs is a little in front of your thighs. So that when you now lower down onto your bellies, lower your knees down, and then pull yourself forward and down and onto your belly. Now the block pushes the flesh of your inner thighs a little backwards. Did you feel that? Okay, good. Straighten your knees, extend your ankles. Okay, spread your toes. Now, with the block between your thighs, can you even push the little toe nail down into the ground? So Letizzia, you were saying that you were looking for ankles moving out to the side with like the missing shins in. I'm rather looking for rolling legs out so that the heels come together. So different things. Maybe both happens at the same time. So now before you come forward, engage your lower core and engage your buttock muscles, your glutes, but only so much that your sit bones move towards your heels, but not towards one another. And then pull yourself forward, widen your shoulders and come up. Ah, see, I could see it in Julia's feet that she lost the shins in. But yeah, good correction, great. Exhaling, come down. Let's do that again. Okay, do you still have a block between your ankles or between your shin bones? Not really, right? If so, we need to stop at some point. Okay, forward. Okay, try
Yeah, I think Julia has the smaller part of the block in between the heels, so maybe put the second part, the width. The bright, oder? Wie sagt man, bright?
I think it's okay. I think it was the second.
No, because I think she lost it. That's why. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like that. Yeah.
Okay. So try again. And if you've got the second block between your shin bones, come forward, engage your glutes as well, your lower belly, and extend forward and up. Yeah. What about knee? Okay, come down. And then push your knees down, push your hands down, lift your kidney area, your hips, your head, and come up and into downward facing dog.
So besides the spirals for Cobra or for any back bends, what I look for is always kidney loop, right? I don't know what you do about that, Julia.
I do. Yeah, I can talk about this. Okay, so inhale, lift your heels up. The heels up, but push yourself away from your hands. Still downward facing dog. Just lift your heels up so that your hips come up a little higher. And then exhaling, walk your feet in towards your hands. Come into Uttanasana. You can take the blocks out. Oopsie. Drop them, kick them away, push them away, smash them away. Okay, so feet parallel, Uttanasana. So inhale here, and in this forward bend, drop your head or even lower your head down. Breathe into the back side of your body. And even in this back bend, with the next exhalation, move your ribs further away from your legs. So stay in Uttanasana, full Uttanasana if possible. Jayendra, can you come into full Uttanasana again? Okay, in Uttanasana, move your ribs away from your thighs. Do more kidney loop. Do a proper core work. Proper cat. Okay. Maintaining this, move the whole torso, your spine more towards your legs. So in relation, the ribs move into the back body, but the whole body moves forward into towards the legs. Okay. Exhaling, even give more strength into the front of your body. And then bring your hands to your hips, lift your shoulders and your head. Don't come up, stay here. Exhaling, make your core stronger. And then use your glutes. Pull your sit bones down and come up to standing. Okay, maybe because they've been on their bellies for so long and we only have 9 more minutes, let's do a standing back bend where I can address the kidney loop again. How about that, Letizzia?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Okay, so what kind? Maybe hands behind, clasp your hands behind your hips. Yeah. So because for Cobra, we need our arms behind our body. You know, we need our shoulders in extension. That's behind us, right? Arms behind us. So interlace your fingers. Make your fingers strong. Push your fingers against the other hand. Make your arms strong. And lift your elbows a little further backwards. So I see some good shadows, some good rib shadows. I see some hips pushing forward. 2 hips at least, a right and a left hip. Okay, so from here, even with your arms behind you, exhale completely, lower your chin down a little bit and look down towards your feet. So do a little cat pose with the arms up, standing, shoulder extension. Okay, so breathe more into the back side of your body. Inhale into the back side of the body. And exhaling, push your feet down, rise up, and lift your arms up even more. Yeah. Again, breathe into the back body. That's an inhalation. And with the exhalation, try to bring your ribs even further back. Do a bigger cow pose here. Cat pose, sorry. Cat pose in the standing position. Okay, feel the core muscles crossing your ribs. Try to maintain this and then lift the top of your sternum, your chin up, and even come into a little back bend here. Bring your arms back, throat back, chin up. Good. Use an inhalation here to fill the inner body, get brighter, and then in the back bend, use an exhalation to engage your core more. Push down, rise up, engage your core more. And then inhaling, come back to center. And exhaling, keep your hands like this, come into a forward fold, Uttanasana with folded arms. So again, now we have this position where we're in a forward fold in an Uttanasana, and we can even do a little cat pose here. So just to teach kidney loop more. You know, arms stay strong. I don't see any hyperextended elbows, so they've learned this lesson. We don't need to address this. Strong biceps. Exhaling, bring your core more into your body, expand the back body more, and then push down through your heels and extend down through the crown. All the heads are down, so we've got some good forward bend. Okay, bring your hands down onto your hips and then down to the ground and walk all the way back into downward facing dog. So a very quick repetition of what we did standing. Come forward into plank pose. Lower your knees. And before you lower yourself down, inhale, get brighter, widen your shoulders. Lift the back of your head up, throat back. It's not a back bend, but it's also not a dropped head. And exhaling, push your hands down so strongly that you feel movement in your kidney area, that your ribs move more towards the back body. Yeah, and if you do this very strongly, your shoulders will roll in and you will end up in a cow pose. So try to stay open, shoulders wide, but really move these core muscles in. And then push yourself forward from your knees, pull yourself forward from your hands, and lower yourself down onto the ground.
Keep sipping that belly in.
Yeah. Lower your forehead down, just like you did when I asked you to look down to your feet when you were standing. Arms strong, breathe into your back body, and then use an exhalation to connect to your core again. With the exhalation, engage your core so much that your ribs move a little away from the ground. But still, we're trying to keep this, but we're going to lift up into Cobra pose. So exhaling, strong core muscles, but still pulling yourself forward, lifting the head up and coming into Cobra pose. So it's a good advice to use an exhalation in a pose to re-engage core muscles. So inhale, and then really strong exhalation to get into these core muscles. Try to keep them engaged and then widen out through the shoulders a little more, lift your chin, take your head back, and then root down through your pelvis, extend back to your legs, through your crown, through your shoulders.
And I will also say there is no need to go into your biggest cobra, but pay more attention to what's going on in your core. So engage the core and then think about the center of the chest lifting up and forward, more forward than up. So there is no need to go to a full cobra, but keep the connection to the core. And from that core, allow the chest to open. Relax the shoulders and think about opening from the chest. So from the back of the body, from the shoulder blades, allowing the chest to open up. And I think this is a very long hold for cobra.
I remember being taught Cobra as a pose, you know, where we stayed for ages back in the day. Yeah, okay.
But we don't need.
So to come up, lift your head up just a little bit, so it's not dropped to the ground, just a little bit. Lift your head up a little bit, and then push your knees down and your hands down, and try to bring your rib cage up, your hips up, come onto your knees. Not in a cobra, just come back, yeah, onto all fours, so to say, and come to sitting. So, sorry, it's 2 minutes to 9, so we need to stop at some point. I am sorry. Oh gosh, I thought that this would happen.
And we always run out of time.
Yeah.
So let's do a quick cool down, no? Just windshield wipers for cool down.
Yeah.
Or
We can
not even.
we can talk while you do some windshield wipers if you want to. So
Yeah,
your bellies
I think everybody will feel happy about that.
after the.
So just do the windshield wipers one side and then the other one just to cool down. And then the people who were with their cameras off and they were observing with us can also turn on their cameras and tell us what they observe.
Karin, konntest du nachvollziehen, was wir angesprochen haben? Hast du das wieder gesehen? I was asking Karin if she if she understood or if she could, how do you say nachvollziehen?
Follow
What I was saying. Do you want to say something? Oh, good. Do you want to say?
Yes, as you said,
you can say it in German as well if you want to, and I can translate.
During the cat-cow part, you observed the spine, whether it's flexible at every part or not. Also, you did watch the foundations, which you mentioned. I could, of course, the bigger theme with the elbows. So your teachers were flexible and changed your plan and did a short lesson about the elbows. Everything. And I also could observe during the peak pose or already at the cobra if the no, I saw you watched Chaturanga Dandasana. You told them to go forward, not only downward, because certainly you saw this problem or you knew this problem about other people.
Yeah.
And of course, the legs which are falling apart in Cobra.
Yeah.
This were my highlights, my observing highlights, which I could observe. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Sylvia, do you want to add something?
You're muted.
Okay, ich sag's in Deutsch.
Ja.
Englisch ist mir zu hart. Also ja, eben dieses Fundament, das Unterrichten des Fundaments.
Mhm.
Genau, dann auch dieses Integrieren der Mittellinie mit den Blocks dann nochmal. Ja, wenn die Beine eben so auseinanderfallen, dass das einfach so einen Halt gibt. Und auch dieses Tiefgehen in der Cobra eben Länge erzeugen und nicht einfach nur runtergehen, sondern wirklich Länge im Seitkörper auch und Länge in den Beinen, sodass also wirklich eine gute Aufspannung da ist. Und auch die Atmung, wie sie integriert worden ist, eben in die Streckung gehen mit der Einatmung und runtergehen mit der Ausatmung. Und was habe ich noch? Ja, die Integration der Ellbogen, das war noch ein großes Thema, genau, dass manche überstreckte Ellbogen hatten und dann das eben mit aufgenommen worden ist. Ja. Und genau, dass eben vor allen Dingen diesen Block halt zwischen den Fersen halten beim Hochkommen, dass die Füße nicht auseinanderklappen.
Ja.
War eigentlich nochmal so ganz genau. Und in KCQ natürlich die Wirbelsäule, ja, dass die also gut integriert ist und vor allen Dingen Core-Muskulatur.
Ja.
Also, dass der Core integriert bleibt beim Hochkommen und auch beim Tiefgehen, dass Stabilität da entsteht.
Ja. Okay.
Translation, bitte.
Well, she just pointed out different things. I wanted to translate in the beginning, but then I thought, well, you might have gotten Ellbogen. And
She also talked about the integration towards the midline.
yeah. I mean, we didn't actually tell you, or we didn't even have some, I mean, we had different things in mind what we look for, but we didn't have like the one UPA that we were teaching. So it might seem like Sylvia was giving a long list of what she observed, or Karin, because we addressed different things. So in class later, I'm trying to focus, of course, on the one thing I wanna work towards. But it has happened before that if I see some things that everybody or most of the people are missing, if all of a sudden everybody shows a lack of inner spiral, for example, I have switched my UPAs if I've seen that this is an issue, you know, and then I mean, yeah, you can even adjust your theme to a different UPA if needed. Do you agree, Letizzia? That
Yeah, we have to, as teachers, we have to be very flexible and address what we observe on the mats. And we cannot just ignore them, right? So that's something that we learn as well to do.
yeah.
So for instance, if you see, say, I don't know, 80% of your class doing the same misalignment, you just stop your plan and you change your class and you go into addressing that part, right? As I guess everybody who has done a teacher training in Anusara knows.
So for this, maybe we will need another 5 minutes or so, just so that you are aware. So if you have to leave, you can leave.
If you have to go and watch the soccer, we understand.
Oh yeah, shoot, yes. But talking about the I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 things we were addressing. So would you say that foundation of the hands is the most important part for Cobra pose? Would you say that? I think placement and placement for the hands according to how the hands are connected to the shoulders is important. Absolutely. So if I have unaware hands and they are turned in, then I'm not using the right combination of muscles towards the shoulder blades for a back bend. But for a small cobra, well, I wouldn't say it's like the biggest, most important thing.
Well, but if we start observing the hands in a cobra, sometimes when the hands are too apart or are too close together, you have a hard time addressing the shoulders and allowing the shoulders to move back. So so that's why the foundation of the hands, I would say, that is very important. I do prefer to bring the hands a little bit farther away, especially for people with shoulder issues, because then it's easier to get the shoulder blades active, the head of the arm bones back. In many of my classes, I end up teaching with how do you say this, the spider cobra, because it's easier for the elbows and it's easier as well for the shoulders. And I don't get into a very deep back bend, but I do get into connecting to the core, allowing the chest to move more. So kind of like addressing what I think Karin was saying, the flexibility of the spine. Because sometimes we are way too flexible in one area and close in other areas. So of course we move from that area where flexible, instead of getting into open the chest, which is the area that the back bend tries us to open up.
Yeah, sure. So the base of the spine is as at the pelvis, and so this is why we did this little stuff with the blocks as well, because if the feet aren't placed well, if the lower legs aren't working properly, if the front of our thighs are not placed well, if we're not setting up with enough inner spiral, or what I didn't observe, I didn't see this in you. Nobody was like
Clenching.
What?
The clenching.
What's the word?
Popo clenching, isn't it? And you
Yeah,
Kind of
it's
like
kneifen. So nobody was to come up like really engaging too much outer spiral, too much glutes activation to come up. I saw quite well aligned feet. Legs weren't turned out. The lower back wasn't getting too tight. The butts weren't getting too tight. I didn't see that. So
okay, I just Googled the word. It's clenching,
clenching, yeah.
not with clenching.
Okay. Good. Yeah. So, but if I had seen this, I would have done this this practice that was probably a little too rushed now, and it's hard to do it on Zoom in 20 minutes. The practice with the block between the thighs and learning to just use the fibers of the muscle that lengthen the sit bones down. Just that would be pelvic loop, right? No rotations, just the tilting backwards. Again,
That's where the refinements come in.
squeezing buttocks. That's what we usually see. Like
Yeah, it's squeezing, but the clenching is even more than the squeezing. You need to have some squeezing, but you don't need to clench, right? So squeezing is kind of like gentle, and the clenching is like, when you even get deformed, so to say.
so funny that you're giving me a little lesson about a word you just looked up. Well, I remember Adam when we were doing some exercises for outer spiral. He would do us push our knees out into something, into a block, into a wall, and then standing in front of you and say, "Squeeze now, squeeze here, squeeze, 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 push that
Yes,
tailbone."
because you want to squeeze, but not clench.
Yeah, okay.
And
So
also something that I had noticed is that because of our tendency, outer spiral, sometimes we bring so much effort or so much awareness into the outer hips, the glutes get to do all the work. But what about getting the outer spiral nicely work together with the inner spiral and work more the hamstrings to keep the lengthening. So the hamstrings kind of like do more the work instead of the glutes. And that's something that you discover by playing with the inner spiral and the outer spiral in a very beautifully balanced way.
yeah. So if Letizzia says something about the hamstrings, we could have probably done some exercise about how to engage the backs of the legs when lying on the belly. If I've seen inactive legs, I would have done something to engage the legs and even the calves and the soles of the feet to help with these muscles to come up even more for a bigger one.
To balance the work in the outer, in the back of the body.
Yeah. So it's 12 past. See you on Thursday. I just wanted to read something that Courtney wrote regarding her elbows. She's got something that's called a carrying angle. This is when your elbow looks like this, but it is straight. So it appears to be bent. Okay. I don't know what I said. At some point it looked, you had a very wide stand in Uttanasana. I thought you did this. Oh, interesting. Okay. Courtney, do you want to say something?
So I just want to point out, because you guys were talking or mentioning my elbows for something, they look bent, and it's because you see, I don't know if you can see this.
It's like an
X.
X.
It even looks bent always, even when I'm like this. They look like they're sticking out, but they're not bent actually. Even when my arms are straight, they look bent.
Yeah.
So it's just something to be mindful of as a teacher. Some people have this carrying angle. Ellen Saltonstall talks about it in her anatomy book. So it's just a funny
That's the same with me.
anatomical thing.
Yeah.
Pardon. I just, sorry for interrupting. It's the same with me, with my arms. It's, I have to explain it to the teachers. So it's I think it's just a little information for you, for everybody, that it might be that what you see is not what we are doing.
Yeah, that's something also that is very a teachable moment when we observe, right? When we are observing the elbows and we keep saying and we go kind of like very in detail and we notice that things are not really happening, we can just ask them, do you have a condition on your elbows? Do you have a condition on your hips? Do you have a, something that I should be aware? So then you know that you don't have to continue stopping the whole class because of that. And it's just part of their anatomy, right?
And it's always a difference between the outer body or the appearance of the form of the body and muscle engagement, for example. If this happens, for example, and I don't see any muscle engagement here in the biceps, I can tell that they are
hyperextending.
That they are just floppy,
The muscles are off. Yeah.
And I can also bend my elbow. Oh gosh. I can also bend my elbow, but still have a very soft biceps. So I want to see this. I always want to see this. If I say, well, engage your arms, there should be some muscle change you can see, in different parts of the body. Same with knees. Most people think that they straighten their knees like in a lunge or so. And they say, well, it is straight. And most of the times it's not. So you have to really observe. Can they, for example, like in a lunge, have them bring their hands to your knee, lower the torso down, and then, or bring the hands down, and then tell them straighten the knee. And if then there is a change, if then the knee is straight, you have a point that when they are up, you can say, well, no, it's not straight. I've seen that your knee gets straighter, and you can give more muscular energy into extending that knee. So just have them do something else, observe how they're doing there, and then keep reminding them that what you've observed in the other pose. Okay. Anybody, any question who's still here? No? Did you learn something? Yes. Jendra, did you learn something new?
Yeah, I liked all the work you did. I liked the blocks with the legs in Cobra. Interesting thing for me, I've been thinking about bringing my shoulders back more in Cobra. And in this class, I did it a lot while you were working on the legs. I'm not sure why that was, but I was doing
I feel like when we work the back
me to
of...
bring the shoulders back.
Sorry, Yendra. I'm always interrupting you.
What did you want to say, Letizzia?
That I think when we work the back of the legs from the very deep part of the feet, the upper back or the upper body gets the connection. So it's all about this world of the fascia, right? And all this that we had studied in the therapeutic trainings with Yayendra and Ellen, that when we engage the whole chain of muscles, the feeling gets easier in other areas. So and that's kind of like the beauty of working with alignment, is that kind of like the body gets into an easy place to open up or to do what we're asking the body to do, instead of forcing the body to do something. Like, for instance, if I want to go into a cobra with the shoulders forward, right, I just get stuck and there is just no way. But if I learn how to engage the back of the legs already, the feet, the legs, the glutes, the upper back gets immediately this idea, oh, I can go backwards and I can open up. So that's something that I find very beautiful. I've seen
one more thing in Jayendra, what he was saying, and it's the same with my body. my head compared to my shoulders, it's very hard for me to bring my head back into in a cobra pose, and have this really good extension in like the upper part of my upper body. So I can bring my shoulders back, but also the head is very hard. And I've seen that in Jayendra as well. You might want to, I mean, we're teachers and we're colleagues and we observe. So maybe you want to see that. So I think I've seen that you've done this, that you wanted to take the shoulders back. So if I had more time, I mean, a back bend also needs, the other end also needs the head part. And we didn't teach this at all. I think I only said, take your head back 1 or 2 times or so. So maybe there could have been a lesson, for example, when standing up, with like doing a good shoulder loop and bringing the top of the shoulder loop back, like pushing the head into the hands and then keeping this and doing it laying down. But this would have been another lesson as well. No, just we didn't really address this part of
That's
the pose.
another part of the teaching. Realize your time. What can you teach in one class?
Maybe make a plan for the next 3 months and then address head position.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. That's the way that I plan my classes. I step back the first Monday of each month and I observe. And then about when I'm observing, I go addressing in each week. So
what? You are that organized. Amazing.
Yeah.
Didn't know. Okay, guys.
Thank you so much for being here. We will be in a few days on Thursday already coming to Netetal, so looking forward to see many of you there. We are taking a break because we need to take a break in August, but we will come back in September. So stay tuned for information about how Kula-Bhrājana Europe continues online from September on. Thank you so much. And thank you, Julia, for my help with the voice.
That's my pleasure. But I also want to add one thing about online and meeting online. We will record the classes we're teaching at the gathering, and Letizzia, Jayendra, and me will teach a teacher workshop, a 6-hour teacher workshop about the essential teachings of non-dual tantra and of our method as well, and observing and teaching the principles from what you see is part of this workshop. So there are options to get this workshop afterwards as well, and it will be great because I will integrate philosophy as well, and it's not just bring your head back and bring your little toenail down. So you'll get more information about this soon. So see you next time. Thank you very much for joining. It's been a pleasure. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.